some reasons I couldn't be flight attendant, and then I decided, okay, I have to move to another location. I want to be someone that can actually involve, talking, communicate, bridging communication with people. I love communicating, and that's the reason why I try to find out another thing where I can actually serve people, where I can actually improve them, and so on and so forth. But here I am as an HR.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Shalom, Om Swastiastu, Namo Buddhaya, Salam Kebajikan.
Hello Sobat Skapenta, and welcome back to
Halo Skapenta, informatif, inspiratif.
My name is Gheysar Pratama, and today I'm accompanied by
Azizzah, Listya, Nirmala.
as the host of today's podcast. We are very excited to have you guys here today. Whether you're chilling at home, commuting, or just looking for something new to listen to. Thanks for tuning in, by the way. And let's jump right into today's episode. So, Azizzah, what are we going to do today?
Okay, today we will be talking about Miss Audrey Sophia. She is a HR professional with years of experience in Susi. We are very excited to welcome today's guest. Let's welcome Miss Audrey Sophia.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Hi. Hello. Yes. Okay.
So, good afternoon, Mrs. Sophia. How are you today?
Yes, I'm good. How are you?
I'm very great. What about you, Azizzah?
I'm very good.
Okay, so thank you, Miss Sophia, for taking the time to attend to this podcast. So, without lingering, let's go straight to the first question, right, Azizzah?
Yeah, okay, Gheysar. Miss, can you tell us about your journey to becoming an HR professional at Susi?
Okay, so actually, in terms of my journey becoming an HR specialist here, it was starting when I was working at the UK. It's in United Kingdom. I was working as a license officer there. I have to bridge the communication between the government in the UK and then with the academic in the UK with the ones in Indonesia. So bridging the communication, creating the meetings, and bridging the gap between the all the things that she should fix in terms of academic landscape. And I started to believe that when you actually intend to build people, you have to be able to realize within yourself whether you're good or not actually doing the communication. So when we talk about the communication, it's not only about how I can actually pursue these people or pursue this person to actually do what I want. It's not like that. But it's more like how I can actually achieve both ways objectives. So she has an objective, I have an objective, how I can bridge this thing. And from that kind of experience, I started to believe, okay, my job is actually how I can be able to bridging the gap between human to human and not just only in metrics. And then right after I going back from the UK to Indonesia, I started actually looking for another experience. I was also working in community good at the time as a it's something like bridging the collaboration from the Kementerian itself with another stakeholders, and it's in the academic field as well. And I started to believe again, I find actually the one that I have interest in most, and it's between human to human, it's between collaboration and so on and so forth. And that started my journey, and then I found out that Susi opened a job vacancy, and it's in human resource, and I started actually applying for that, and I get accepted. At the time, I was interviewed directly by the director of Susi, which is the daughter of the Susi University, and I was very close with her up to now. And then she also trusted me to actually doing anything that I can do, and at least actually it can build the performance of human resources department. And one of the things that I actually lead right now is the school hiring, and I also will be actually involved in a project MCC here. It is internal audit and kind of things like that. And aside of that, I also manage the things in HR we have so many employees there, not just the local one, but also the expatriate, on how I also actually handle that kind of things. And it's not only how I can improve them or how I can improve the organizational issues here, but how I can actually making our employees feel safe when they're working with Suzir and feeling that they improve themselves. I think that's my best answer for your question.
That's very cool and long journey, right, Azizzah?
Yeah.
Okay, so Miss, what inspired you to work in this field?
Okay, what inspired me to work in this field? Actually, I had never imagined that I'll be involved in this field because my very first dream was to become a flight attendant. Actually, that was my dream. But then, because of some reasons, I couldn't be flight attendant, and then I decided, okay, I have to move to another location. I wanted to be someone that can actually involve talking, communicate, bridging communication with people. I love communicating, and that's the reason why I try to find out another thing where I can actually serve people, where I can actually improve them, and so on and so forth. Then here I am as an HR.
Okay, Miss. What are the biggest HR challenge you face in an aviation company like CCA? And how do you handle them?
Biggest challenges I found during my tenure working on Susi it is how I can be able to maintain our employees. As you know that when you work in the Susi you actually have to be ready to replace anywhere in Indonesia. So we literally have so many employees that's scattered around Indonesia, from the very remote areas to big cities. How I actually have to be able to maintain them, to retain them, to solve your problems both professionally and personally, because I'm an HR. When you're not comfortable with me, then it means that you're not comfortable with the company. So you just ruin the image of the company itself, and I don't want that to happen. I, as a representative of the company, as part of the HR, I actually to take on this kind of problem and avoid these problems with Gheysar. So that's actually the challenges thing that I actually have to solve, have to find a solution, or have to avoid. I have to maintain these employees. I also have to retain them, but also have to looking at the side of the company itself when they are actually, oh, this employee is good, but this employee creates problems, and we have to actually cut them off. That's the thing that the most challenges as an HR.
Okay, Miss. According to your answer, how does Susi Air maintain employee motivation and performance, especially in remote or high pressure environments?
Okay, so actually, this is an interesting question. How we have to maintain their, so they can still working with us and get things like that while we are here in the head office or head office in Pangandaran, while our employees scatter around Indonesia. So the way we are actually making them keep motivated working with us is actually when they have a problems, they should actually directly tell us what's the problem and what kind of things that we can do to avoid that problems. That's the most important part. And then after they have conveyed their problem to us, we will find a solution after that, and we will actually give them. Some of our employees will actually, they will find it's really hard to work in a new environment because it's something for them. They coming from, let's say, they coming from Jogja, and then they have to work in Sulawesi, for example, or in Papua, for example. It's actually extremely hard for them. Super, super hard. So as an HR, I have to provide emotional support for them so they can be encouraged to actually doing whatever they do there. And second of all, and since here, one of the things that actually we emphasize is actually everyone working for money. Not gonna lie,
Yeah,
everyone
that's
working for money. So, when they're working with us, we usually give them a contract. A little bit kind of like different with another company, but also have no idea what happened in that company. But after the contract, usually we will actually increase their salary and also provide them with the accommodation, and there's also transportation for work and then insurance. So when they get the salary, it's going to be fully for them. It's not gross. They don't have to spend their money to accommodation, to transportation, and so on and so forth. It's fully covered. And that's how we encourage our employees to actually journey with us. Yeah, it is true. At first, they will find it difficult because it's going to be a new place for them to actually be experienced of. But at the end of the day, they will get used to that. And finally, yeah, just like what I say, it's about how to keep them motivated.
Yeah.
Okay, Miss. What qualities do you look for in a candidate when recruit for CCA?
Okay, so the qualities that we look for in the candidates, we have a lot of qualifications, I can say. So in Susi, we have so many positions. First one, we have management training. So the management training is actually a program in which everyone that join in this management training, they will be able to get higher opportunity to achieve the managerial level in a short period. So for example, as management trainee, I can be able to be supervisor within 6 months or 1 year. It's super easy as long as you show a good performance to provide positive impact to the company and so on and so forth. So in management training program, the qualities or the qualification that we look forward to the candidate is the one that can actually agile and then also knowledgeable, adaptable, and any kind of things that in which we can see that this person is brave, this person is initiatives, this person is proactive, and this person can actually kind of like a person that can give solution better and faster. It's something that we look forward. It is in the side criteria. I am as an HR, I recruit them, I interview them, I look forward to their CV and I can see from their body language, the way they answer and so on and so forth. And of course the most important thing is English. Yeah. Why English? That is because you will work in an environment where there are so many people coming from across the world. We have employees from the US, from the UK, from the Australia, from Africa. A lot of people coming from different backgrounds, different cultures. So the language that we use is English. Even the management of this year, here most of them are foreigners, rice factory. Then how we can be able to collaborate well with them is yes, through communication, language. Even though your English doesn't really have to be perfect, but at least you actually showing your willingness to learn. We both understand each other. We can get the key points of what we're talking about, and that's the most important thing. And third of all, in Susie here, we don't look someone from specific major. So for example, I am an HR, but I'm not from a background that is related to HR. I'm not from management. I'm not from psychology. I'm not from any field that is related to HR. I'm not from that. But I can be able in this position because that's not the thing that since you're looking for to the candidate. That's not something that we look forward. What we see is that the willingness within this candidate. So that's the first program. And the second one, we also have officer. For the officer itself, usually they will be stayed in Perdana, in head office. And again, we look for someone that has technical abilities, technical knowledge of that. So for example, if you open recruitment for accounting officer, then it means that this someone has to be able to actually showing that she or he has these technical abilities. She or he has these soft skills and some support. She or he has to be able to operate, for example, in the accounting industry. They have to be able to operate accurate and journal ID. They have to understand about cash on bank, accounting measures. That's something that they have to know. I will test them through the interview. So the technical aspect is another thing that we look forward from the candidate. And lastly, we also offer recruitment for the crew, which what I did right now. I just done in SMSA. And then I just done that, and yeah, it's actually for our employee to assign to our operational base around Indonesia. So in here we have two types of training. The first training is for the crew itself that will be sent, and the second one is for our pilot. So after the training is done, if the candidates actually pass the training, both the crew and the pilot, then we will send them to the base. But if you're not passed, then we'll send them home. That's actually the thing that we do right now. For the crew itself, we don't look for someone that is perfect. Oh, her or his English has to be good. No, we don't look for someone that is like that. What we look is actually, is this someone brave enough to actually working in a new environment that he or she hasn't visited yet? Braveness is the one that actually we're looking for the candidate itself. Second of all, are they someone that is easy to adapt or not? If you're easy to adapt, then we can get them. We can force them to actually, okay, you are easy to adapt, you're a fit candidate for this position, I have to force you to speak English. No matter you're good at English or not, no matter you're actually pay attention to the grammar, Just that's you don't give a shit about that. Just to be honest. At least you want to try. Because I have interviewed some of the candidates. At first they don't know at all about English. Even when I ask them to actually introduce themselves, they'll just say, Kak, saya nggak bisa bahasa Inggris. No, okay. If you cannot, then I'll stop the interview now. And then suddenly they can speak English. See? You can speak English. So it's just a matter of confidence. A matter of how you actually have to force yourself. And then yeah, that's actually the qualities or the qualification that we look to the candidates that intend to work in Susi.
So, Sobat Skapenta, that's a really good information for someone who wants to join the Susi Air, right, Azizzah?
Yeah.
So, how important is soft skill development for employees in aviation, and how do you help them grow and be better in that?
Okay, thank you for your question. So soft skill is something that we need to prepare, we need to actually anticipate because even though we have so smart and technical skills, but if we do not have the soft skill itself, then it's nothing. What we can get from that, yeah, soft skill, it means that you have to be able to, again, communicate with people, adapting, how we can actually manage a situation, how we can negotiate with people, how we can solving a problem that we currently facing up. That's what we call soft skills, yeah. So the way Susi Era actually encourages employees to actually develop their soft skill is that, for example, in for crew side, yeah, we send them to the base. The soft skill that we actually force them is we send them to the base along with the pilot. So we encourage them to speak with the pilot so they can use their communication and it can improve their communication skill. It's not just in the high Indonesia, but it's also in English. Second of all, it's something important to actually be in place, for example, in Papua. It's a whole different world if you have to compare that with Java, yeah? But yeah, that's something that they have to actually adapt and it develop their soft skill in terms of adapting with the environment. That's something that we actually encourage. And third of all, usually in Susier, we have a training that can actually increase the capability of our employees. So that's something that we provide for our employee that actually suitable for this position. But this position needs a proper training and official training that we will actually provide that. We will pay the training that the employee can get that. That's how we encourage our employees to develop their soft skills.
Okay. Yes. In your opinion, how has the HR role evolved in recent years, especially with digital transformation?
Okay, in terms of the evolving of human resource, especially when there is a digital transformation of housing, of course, it's totally different. Usually, we only know human resource, meaning that we administrative things, only administrative matters that we actually manage to handle payroll, absence, attendance, and so on and so forth. That's all. We don't have data-driven activities. We don't have that. But since the digital transformation comes in, then you might ever heard about human capital, yes? Yeah. So human capital is actually something that provide a data-driven insight. So we will use any kind of things that is related to technology that can improve the way we work in human resource field. So when we doing attendance, usually we only using fingerprint and that's all. It's right, just like tracking like that, and yeah, that's all. But now we have a phone, and then we can just take a picture with phone, and that's how technology goes. We can be able to know where is this person. Is this person clocked in on time or not? Is this person request attendance or not? Is this person get the specific test or not? It's super easy with the technology. And second of all, when we do recruitment, usually, what I did right now is a conventional type of recruit because we're visiting schools, we're doing recruitment, face-to-face interview, and psychotest. That's all. It's conventional. It's not related to technology. We do not involve technology here. But usually, if we want to involve technology, it is also something that we did and Susi Air, we use a lot of applications. So we have the website in which the candidates can apply to our website. So if you want to apply at Susi Air, you can visit susiaircareer.com. You can visit that and then you can just submit your CV, filling out all the information and so forth. And then yeah, we can access that. And if we click something there, there is automatic email that can be sent directly, so we don't have to, okay, I'll copy this someone email and then I'll send them and blah 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 blah. Just one click and then it's automatic email. And third of all, we also have a site hotmail that is online based. So what we did again, it's conventional. So we provide the paper test to the candidates and they'll just write it down your answer there. But if we use technology, we have the online one, which is we can just send the link automatic to the candidates and they just can be able to actually do it from home and that's all. All the report can also be presented. That's what happened with the digital transformation.
So, for the next question, actually, can you share a memorable or meaningful experience you had as an HR professional?
Okay, as an HR, the meaningful experience I have ever done is actually in Susi, it's quite interesting because when you work and you give positive impact to the company, you will be highlighted. What is the video highlighted? In Susi, you work directly under the director. So you show if you show your past during your tenure working at Susi, then the director will see you when the director see you, it means that you have shown your best. And that's something that I feel like, oh, I think I've done a good job so far. And I hope that, yeah, I hope that I will just keep doing like this. Because, in this kind of situation, my director is actually giving her trust to me. And I'll just try my best to not actually making her feel like, oh, I trust you, but you're doing this. I'm not going to trust you anymore. So I'll avoid that kind of things. And then the second one is that I am someone that is open to any opportunity. So one of the meaningful situations that have ever happened in my life was when I'm in HR, but then my director trusts me to actually learn more than HR. Then my director approached me and then said that you will doing this specific thing. You said that I cannot say this to you. So I happily accept that and I'll just do it.
Okay. How do you deal with conflict resolution within the company?
Okay, there's a conflict resolution is super, super hard because you need to see deep down what happened with the conflict. We are not just solely provide the solution, but we have to see the root cause of the conflict itself. So when there is a voice saying that I have a problem like this, what should I do? Should I just resign or what else? Then we will see first what happened with you. What is the root cause? Is it because of your personal matter? Is it because of your parents? Or is it because of the company? Or is it because of the job? Yeah. When they say that it's because of the job, then what happened with your job? What actually something that make you feel uncomfortable with your job? And then after they telling us, then actually we will try to figure it out. What have you done to actually solve this kind of problem so you don't really have to resign? I mean, you are in here, you want to earn money, you want to gain experience, and so on and so forth. So when you have become part of this year, and suddenly you resign, you don't gain experiences, then what's the point of you working at Susi? So you will see the root cause first, looking at the approaches that they have done, and then if it still fail to actually solve the problems, then we will try to create another approach that can actually solve the problems. And then after that, we will evaluate if it's actually has not, then we will try to implement that the same approaches to another problem, but of course with different resolution.
Okay, next for the next question. What advice would you give to young professionals who want to pursue a career in HR or aviation?
Okay, so for the people out there that intend to be part of the Susi or intend to be an HR, then one thing for sure that they have to know is that do not feel do not feel just uneasy you intend to apply for something. So, for example, oh, I am not an undergraduate degree. I'm not coming from HR related background. I'm not coming from business related background. No, nothing like that. Because when you have your vision to become an HR, there are many ways that will come into your brain. It will hit your brain, and then your brain will create the strategies on how to achieve your dream to become an HR. You might not from HR related background, but if you want, you might actually just learn about HR. Try to apply your knowledge. Just break the boundaries. Just apply for the HR. Try. If you do not get that, and then try to actually looking for stepping stone that you can do. So try to apply for another job that is still related to HR. And once you get the experience, you can actually transform or transfer to HR role. That's something that you have to do. The most important thing is that just try.
Okay, so you just have to be confident and try your best, right?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, yes. If you could change one thing about how people perceive HR, what would it be and why is?
Okay, so if I could transform things that can make people think actually differently, it will be I'd like to say to all the people out there that HR is more than just looking at the destructive things, payroll, results, or it's more than that. HR is actually a department where we can actually give a solution for every problems that happen in our workforce. We support their emotional well-being, we support the unique development. So actually, one of the asset of the company is human. So when there is employee working at here, we have to encourage them to actually do their best on yourself and on your job. That's something that we actually have to do. We have to encourage and give your best. So that's something that I want to chance the way people out there looking at HR and giving your assumption to what HR is. I think that giving the best answer.
So for the next question, what motivated Susi to become second the current organization and Perjalanan di Harus Supporter?
Okay, that's very interesting version. Yeah, it's true. This is our second recruitment process as a government manager. Yeah. So actually, the reason why we do the process here because we realized and we saw that the alumni of SL Government is very good. I'm not trying to sugarcoat it, but it's true. So in this kind of situation, we each of you so many alumni are present at one government and they're very, very good. I don't even have to shock them by saying that I was not to say you if you do not speak English. I don't even have to say that because at the very first I explained to them about Susi Rekka. I say that the interview will be conducted in English, so you have to actually phrase that. And when I interview them, all of them can speak English well. All of them showing their dedication, their interest in working in CTR, and that's something that I highly appreciate. And it also happened back then when I was doing the first recruitment period as a Kamah. And the second thing that is I like the most from the school is that you guys welcome us well. Welcome us with a nice gesture. Welcome us with something that we didn't expect that we will be welcomed this good. And that's something that I actually truly appreciate. And yeah, thank you for actually welcoming us and let us give the facilities for us to include the recruitment and provide good quality appeal of that.
Was there something particularly interesting from an HR perspective?
Okay, something that is particularly interesting from an HR perspective. First thing first, before I answer, I'll just to make it clear. What is it about?
Answer.
Yeah, okay. So probably I'll just answer that generally, yeah. So something that is interesting from an HR perspective, I'll just answer based on the recruitment process here idea. Okay, so from this HR recruitment, The most interesting thing is that, oh yeah, when I explain to them about the company profile, and then I say that it will be conducted in English, they were like, oh, so the restaurant has some meeting. What is, oh, I cannot speak in English. Oh, it should be just in Bahasa Indonesia. We won't talk to people from Indonesia, not from foreigner. And then suddenly, it's just what happened on the ground when I did interview with them, just like when I say to you, oh, see, you can speak English well. Why you say that? So it's just like something that I found interesting from an HR side of the professional.
So for the last question, could you share your impressions and messages for SN Kapten atas saat jaga ini episode?
Okay, I'd just like to highlight again. So when I did recruitment process for the second that year, the welcome session is very very nice. I met with Ibu Chanka. She's super super good, super super nice, super super talkative in a good way. Yeah. Super super talkative in a good way, smiley kind of person, and just also really really like someone that is very. Oh, I am the representative of the school, so I have to show my best to our guests, and that's something that we really appreciate the most. And then second of all, since I am literally taking with Chandra, and when we are about to prepare for the recruitment process, with Chandra always follow up about what we need, what facilities that can actually support this recruitment process, and so on and so forth. And that's something that we realize, oh, I think we don't have to bring this to the record room because the school has provided and it's not support. And third of all, the candidates that were coming for this recruitment process, mostly they're from online and with qualifications of million of years actually with what we need. So that's something that we think has a good impression building your skill. And for the message itself, so first thing first, I see that this program is super super good. The school can encourage its students like to show your best based on your question. Can encourage your students to actually realize that something in yourself that needs to be encouraged, that needs to be facilitated, and still facilitate yourself. For you, there's actually anything that you have professional. So, for example, here in the back, you have the production team, your guys pool, and then you go to this one, there's a pool too. So, as someone that you're interviewing right now, I used to interview people, now you interview me. It is actually something that I feel like just keep doing this, even though anyone in this world will always be the starter. But there is a moment that you will be an expert. So just maybe in that kind of subvention, then you'll be an expert. But it was super for you to share anything that you have as your experience. It's awesome. Okay.
Wow, it's good explanation. Did you chat?
Excellent.
Thank you, Miss. Thank you so much. Well, that's wraps today's episode of Halo Skapenta. Thank you so much for spending your time with us. We love having you here. Don't forget to follow and share this podcast if you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more exciting content coming your way. Until next time, take care and keep paying awesome. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam Halo Skapenta. Informatif, inspiratif.